Okay, I want to talk about Citizens Corps and other topics concerning gang stalking. As you notice, you see the colors black and white. Those are the colors used by Citizens Corps and its stakeholders. So what they do is they will monitor you when you enter and exit your home. They're connected to your sheriff's association, ICE Black Box. They have lots of neighbors that have cameras that they get for free if they're a homeowner, and they observe everything going on in the community, even while you're sitting on your porch. So I left Florida, New Mexico, and now I'm here in Texas, and I'm about to leave Texas to escape the harassment that I've experienced for a long time. When I first moved here, I started having persistent encounters with people wearing black and white clothing. Now I just seen these people walking up. Look. Bear with me 1 second. Now, let me go back. I'm sorry I'm not using a screen recorder. I have too many programs on my computer and I'll bog it down. Now, look at those earphones. And look at her dress code. Now, I just seen these people walking up. Look. And they have black and white vehicles. Let me fast forward it a little bit. Okay, so you've seen that black and white vehicle outside? This is one of the cars right here. That girl actually seen. So they're using neighborhood watch groups, people in the community, to stalk and harass people. I complained to Department of Public Safety about this harassment, and I started noticing I was having a lot of encounters with them, people in the U.S. Army, business owners, and you can't see the letters, but it says Department of Public Safety. And I have a video called U.S. Army Joins Citizens Corps Pray for America, and you'll see what I was experiencing while I was going shopping every day. So I started having weird experiences with neighbors. This guy right here was walking over here to this white car to get something out. But he lives, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me 1 second. I have his room number. Let me go back over there so we can see it. Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. It's really hard to see the room number, but it's 1924. So when I first moved here to this apartment area, I started experiencing harassment by neighbors, and this guy would walk all the way to where my car was at and walk right back every single time I was going to go shopping. I found it really odd. The lady beneath me, every time I got home, she would walk outside, stand right in front of my car, and walk back in wearing black clothes. When I was going to Cybertex, I had a guy wearing the same black shirt, cheap $5 Hanes t-shirt, and he was going to school to be a database administrator. And he always came in with white earphones and a black shirt every single day. And one day he just gave me a paper that had my social security number and all my personal information on it. And then I had a house break-in where a knife mark was made across my table, but the police still haven't found no suspects. So I find it also strange. So this guy would cut in front of me, like when I'm going to drive out, start walking across the street. It was nonstop. And I had encounters. And this lady has white earplugs on. I had 2 encounters with her in a city with 2 million people in one day. And they go in stores, they follow people and harass people, and also communicate with people in the stores. I've also experienced, see this right here? Let me go back. Now I'm noticing for a whole entire year and a half, the first year and a half living here, every time I went shopping, I was being followed around by people wearing black clothes. When I put my groceries in my car, they would stand and cover their license plates. And they have spotters. They always have a spotter. Now, I'm noticing watch this. A similar pattern of these people and what they do. Says she was wearing a black shirt? So they stand out in front of their cars. Let me slow down. You should see it in a second. And I don't know if you can see, there's a guy right there. He's standing right there, and he has long hair. He's wearing a black shirt, and he was communicating with her. And when I went into the store, there was two people that were wearing black shirts, and they always popped up every time I was going to buy my groceries when I enter and exit. Well, I started doing research and found out that that's actually a community policing method, and it's actually quite illegal because you're trying to sensitize a person to colors. You're trying to make your presence known covertly. So I started doing research and found out that Citizens Corps is partnered with Community Solutions, which has people, I guess they run it, and they have experience in psychological warfare. So Citizens Corps also has received training in psychological warfare for emergency services, like when there's ever a disaster or anything like that. So I wonder, since the U.S. Army and them are stakeholders and partners, and law enforcement, all this are all together, are they all in this together? The answer is pretty apparent. If you watch my video called U.S. Army Joins Citizens Corps, Pray for America, watch that video. So let me keep going on here. So I started noticing people. I noticed people waving at me, and when I would get a light, notice people wave at me non-stop every street I was turning down. And people were being dropped off wearing black clothes. This is like a block away from where Citizens Corps is at. And let me keep going on here. Let me see. So police told me that Citizens Corps, they really don't deal with police, something like that. Well, it's all a lie. Because, I'm experienced. Let me go through here and bear with me 1 second. Let me get this video up, I apologize. So you're going to see a black and white vehicle. I'm experiencing cell phone hacking. Oh, let me share this. I also left Albuquerque before I moved here because I was being followed around by the FBI and other agencies. I was followed around by a bunch of women wearing short feminist haircuts. You'll have to go to my other YouTube channel to see more information about that. I have a video, and these people appear to be feminists. They have short feminist haircuts. I wonder if FEMA and all these organizations are just all a bunch of feminist groups. So let me go back. So when I went to Citizens Corps and I started having these strange encounters, I started wanting to see, what was going on. I started having people with tags that are untraceable scream in my face. I had a panic attack. I never had a panic attack so bad. They weren't flirting with me. They were screaming in my face, directly in my face by 2 or 3 feet while I'm walking. So bear with me 1 second because I want to share with you guys this certain video here. Okay, I'm having problems trying to share this video. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so let me see. It's around 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, let me see. Wearing that same color. Bear with me 1 second. And my neighbor downstairs every day, she would come outside wearing all black. I don't know if it's going to show up in this video, but I have her tag and everything. Every time I come out, these people come out and then they're wearing all black. She wore black every single day. And so we need to be able to document. So let me see if I can get a clip of it. I've never seen this woman wearing a different color before. I don't know if she comes out in this video. She's always wearing black. She's wearing a black sweater. She lives underneath my apartment. There she is. So let me go back. And this lady was really rude with me. Every time I went to my car, she would come outside and just stand there. I found it really degrading. So let me see if I can get a clip of her again. And I have her information. So if you're a cop or anything, you want to review it and see if she has any ties to community policing, anything like that. And across the street, I noticed a lot of people in white vehicles harassing me in the past, playing harassment games. So let me see if I can get a clip of her again. See? Let me go back. And just bear with me 1 second.
Different color before. She's always wearing black. She's wearing a black sweater.
She shows up on the very, very corner. I just want to make sure she comes out in here, so just bear with me because I don't know if the camera picked it up.
So we need to be able to document. I need to be able to document. I've never seen this woman wearing a different color before. She's always wearing black. She's wearing a black sweater. She lives underneath my apartment.
That's her right there, and she lived underneath my apartment on the like very right door. Downstairs there's only 2 doors. It's the right door. I found it really, really odd. Every time I went outside, she would come outside, stand there and look at me, and walk back in. And I also had some other encounters, real strange. Let me see if it comes up on this one. Every time I got back from my doctor's appointment, this guy, I actually followed him one day just for like a minute. He wore the same exact shoes, same pants, same jacket, same watch as my cardiologist. Did research and found out they have ties to HEB Super Market and other stuff, community engagement agreements. And I've had people that have harassed me at doctor's appointments saying like, hey, everywhere you go you're stalking me, and laughing and leaving. So as you've seen in my other video where you've seen the 2 people wearing black shirts in a parking lot at HEB, and you look at my other videos, you'll see that I have complained about the stalking. And if you go to even this video right here, you'll see that they wear crossbone shirts, these people, white and black. So they're sending a threatening message. They're trying to cause fear into the person. That's an NLP tactic. Trying to cause fear when people are parking in nearby handicap space, coming out, and verbally harassing and threatening a person, sometimes without saying anything or telling you like, hey, don't expose us. So if you go to this video, let me see where it's at right here, retail harassment, and I have the full link under the bottom here if you click the site, but here's the URL shortener that I used. You can copy and paste it, and it'll show you some interesting stuff. So I went to the Workforce Center 2 weeks ago and noticed that this Metro place had a bunch of white vans, and it was right next door to AT&T. Well, I made a video a while back because after being systematically harassed, I had reached a point where it was just enough. So I talked to a joint counterterrorism agent, and what we noticed was that the harassment actually happened there. It wasn't by him. He was really nice with me. Let me see if I can find the video. It's like TXDPS and FEMA experience, something like that. You may have to go looking for it. I have like 100 videos. So here it is. Visit to the TXDPS, I messed up, /FEMA office concerning Citizens Corps. And I was furious. People say things they don't mean when they're angry, but check it out, and that will help explain to you what I've been going through. And after asking for help, it didn't stop. As you see, that I have been to call DHS for help. I have other videos. I've been on TV, gone to the Human Rights Council right here, asked for help, and was denied help. They didn't want to even hear nothing from me. I've been on public TV asking for help way before I even went to, I think it was the Department of Public Safety. This was a year ago. So I've been asking for help. When people are being harassed, they say things they don't mean, but I own no weapons. And as you see, when I went to Citizens Corps, people were screaming at me. You can see their tag there. And let me see if I got everything from this. Let me see. Okay, let me keep going here. Let me remove the volume.
I'm on my way to buy some cleaning supplies. And
as you notice, when you pass by the police station, you notice a lot of vans, like maintenance vehicles. Maybe they're doing repairs. But what I've noticed is that in the past, where if you look at that video called U.S. Army Joins Citizens Corps, there's some clips that are removed. And there was a guy that lives down the road from me, where I made that movie called Citizens Corps Unconstitutional Treatment. He drove an AC van, repair van, and he confronted me in not a threatening way. I'm not sure if it was the same person, but they had the same type of van. He seemed somewhat friendly, but he was just like, checking me out. So you notice they always park their cars reverse. a lot of times. You may go somewhere and notice 8 cars simultaneously reversing, which I find very interesting. And then let me keep going on here. Let me see. I just want to make sure. So when I went to Citizens Corps, let me go back. Now you see this guy here. This is when he's wearing. I really felt like he was telling me, because look, he's sitting there and he's wearing a shirt that says Lux, like L-U-X-E. Now, let me see if I can go back. If I go back, you may, I think this is the video where you may be able to see something strange here. I don't know if this is it. Let me see, bear with me 1 second. Now you see the girl in the background? I noticed a woman in the car following me. It looked just like her, and that parked immediately. Let me see if I can go back. And this stuff is done very subtly, where you're constantly being exposed to black colors. You see it right there? Let me go back. She had parked where I was at, and then you notice the guy with the Lux outfit. Now let me go over here. Now check this out. This is the same area. This is like 2 blocks from Citizens Corps. It's about a block from the Secret Service. And you'll see this guy in the background sitting down. Right there. There he is. He's wearing that's that same person. And this is the same date that I made this video right here, where these people were screaming in my face. This is not in front of Citizens Corps, like this other video I took, like the video previously, like the one I took previously was. So you see him there. I find it strange. Someone screams in my face. I just passed a car, and then you see the guy in the blue shirt, and then all of a sudden when I walk close, he starts walking, and then someone behind me, I didn't record them. I noticed they parked and they're wearing a black shirt and white earphones. And I actually have a PDF file where you see a woman sitting with white earphones. I should have shared the video clip, but she laughed while she was putting them on. So, and then we also noticed that a lot of these regional councils, they're ran by Freemasons. So I'm not speaking bad about them, but they have these signs they can do to get preferential treatment. So let's look at this. The equal treatment under the law. The U.S. Constitution makes no similar provision in the Fourth Amendment, and says no state shall make or enforce any law that will deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. These provisions require the government to treat persons equally and impartially. Now, we know what happened. What was there in Charlottesville? Let me go over here real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Now, let's look at that guy that ran into that vehicle. The media is not really talking about this. Let me see. He was driving this car right here. It's a Camaro, but we also, I don't know if it was a Camaro or a truck, but we also see what appears to be a Masonic logo. So I don't know if it was the sports car that hit him or this guy with a Shriner symbol. I find it really, really weird. So I'm going to have to do research on it, but you see a Shriner symbol. And we know that it was just the Black Lives Matter people were there, and then some racists. And I believe everyone has the right to freedom of speech. I don't care if you're a racist or what you believe in. Even though I'm against racism, we have to respect the U.S. Constitution and Americans' rights to freedom of speech. And you see a Masonic symbol right there. The media doesn't talk about this type of stuff. So, and then also I had another strange encounter. If you look at that video I made where I was being harassed, it's called retail harassment. Let me go back up. Where is it at? It's somewhere around here. Here is retail harassment. It's you might want to check one or two of these videos. It's probably in there somewhere. Anyways, I think I added the video about this. And I was being harassed at the Dollar Tree. So this guy here, I don't know if his tag will come up. I found it real strange. I started having encounters with people wearing suits and driving Uber vehicles. So I started doing research and found out that agents actually have used it in police in the past. So he has a handicap sticker on his car. It's like an NLKHN, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but you see a handicap. In the past, I've had a lot of encounters with older people. So I'm assuming maybe they're senior corps Maybe they're posing to be Uber drivers. So I parked my car at the furthest lane, and I mentioned that in the past I've had cars parked next to me sideways. So I parked as far as I could where no one would park to get to the Dollar Tree. And this guy comes out and starts talking to me. Come to find out, we go to the same doctor in the middle of nowhere. Isn't that something? So let me keep going on here. And I had another strange encounter. I'm parking my vehicle, and this guy, he doesn't get out of his vehicle. He just stares at me. I try not to look at him. He just keeps staring and gawking at me for minutes with a real mean face. So I think it's like CPL 7381. I don't know if he's a gang stalker, but he was a Hindu guy. And I love Hindu people, so I'm not saying nothing bad. So, and then I've mentioned in the past that I have been harassed while shopping. And the people come into stores. Let me see if I can get this video in better. Hold on 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. So let me go back, because I don't know if this person's a gang stalker, so I don't want to expose their tag. If I feel inside they may not be. But what I find strange is that in the past I've had encounters with people where it can be with a dying relative, that's, you know, or someone that's a friend, it's a Vietnam veteran, a respectable person. And look, they go in stores shopping with their book bag fully loaded, and they don't buy any food. And I've had that happen a lot. I mean, a lot of times I've mentioned it while I've gone to stores. I'll see someone come in with a fully loaded backpack and have their car sitting outside, and they don't buy anything, or they'll get in line and leave. And know that if you're being harassed in the government, sexually harassed, or you're experiencing harassment, you guys have a right to, you know, speak against it. I know a lot of you guys in the military experience the sexual harassment. No person should have to experience that garbage, and you can whistleblow too. And we look at a lot of these regional councils, and we see they're ran by Freemasons, mostly judges. They're in every single city. A lot of them are not even tied to Citizens Corps. They're all over the place. And we see that blacks have their own Masonic temples. It's different in some states. Around here, they mix together, which is good. So, and there's also bills. It's called, let me see if I can scroll in here. It's called the No Fear Act. So check that out if you want to be a whistleblower and you want to expose this gang stalking, because it's illegal. It's illegal to violate people's rights. And bear with me 1 second. I want to scroll here real quick. I'm going to hide my tag while I get to this part in this video. So just bear with me 1 second. Now, in the past, I've had some encounters with people. I mentioned it. It's been persistent. They don't buy any groceries, and what they do is once I exit the store, they walk to the car with no groceries. And this is a guy's tag. I'm not saying it's a gang stalker. It's like KDV2310. But this is what I find strange. The past 12 times I've gone shopping, someone has parked next to me and hasn't bought any groceries. And they walk out at the same exact time I do, and they're always parked next to me about 97% of the time. And I showed a video earlier how you see people wearing black, you know, standing outside. So bear with me 1 second, because I'm still playing that same clip of that white vehicle. I'm just trying to cover my information, and I want to share what happened once that white car pulled out. Once that white car pulled out, I noticed a guy standing there, and I noticed other red cars on the side. Once I left, he left. He never went in the store. Notice the colors of his outfit, black. I find that odd. So there was a white vehicle there, and there's a person standing there. Doesn't buy any groceries. Really suspicious. Then I had another strange encounter. This guy tries to sell me wine, and you don't see homeless people where I live. You may see there's like 2 or 3 of them, and they'll be in the intersections of the road, and they don't even live close to here. There's not a lot of homeless people where I live, so you don't see them around this area. This is not a ghetto area. So as I drive out, I notice when I left the gas station, this guy tried to sell me wine. I'm pretty sure this is his car, and bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can get his tag. It is HTL36, I think 20. Let me see, or 28. Let me see. Yeah, it appears to be HTL3620. So what I find strange is that in the past I've gone shopping, and then all of a sudden at numerous stores they'll say, hey, here's a free soda, and then they'll say, I'll say, who gave it, who bought it? And they'll say, no one, it's for free. Then after it happened 12 times, some people told me it was some people wearing black and white clothes. They bought it and they handed it back and said, give it to this person in the drive-thru. So, and then there's also, I mentioned about the Uber driver, there's also a potential for Uber to be used as a cover for gang stalking also. Uber is a very respectable organization, but I have a video, I have to go digging for it, and it's numerous ones, people wearing black suits. These people look like agents. These guys look like they just came out of a Matrix movie. So I find it really strange. Let me see if I have another one here. Let me see, bear with me 1 second. Okay, this lady came, she parked right next to me. And here's her vehicle. Let me see if I can get her tag. And she gave me this deep stare. Once I walk out of the supermarket, I noticed that she just starts staring at me. Not like in a harassing manner, but she doesn't buy any groceries. And I mentioned that in the past, I've been systematically harassed while shopping. So let's see if we can get her tag. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, so hold on 1 second. I don't know if it's going to come out. And you notice these people, a lot of them have sports cars. Now, I think this one is... Okay, I don't know if the tag is going to come out good, but this appears to be the lady's tag. I don't know if that's a G or a 6. It's kind of hard to tell. But that's the lady's tag. So she drives a Mustang. And... Okay, I'm noticing that my camera is experiencing Bluetooth hacking while I'm trying to share this clip. So I mentioned in the past that every time I've gone shopping, I've had a car parked next to me. It'd be like white and red cars. The people don't buy any groceries. And then once I walk to my vehicle, they walk and they get into their vehicle. So right now she's in her vehicle. In my other recordings, I had just turned the camera on so I didn't get their faces. They get into their vehicles quick and they make their presence known, and they do not buy any groceries. The actions are very subtle, where they pop up like once you're about to exit a place or enter your car, and they may do something where they spit, and then when you look, you see black and white clothes, a white car, sometimes unmarked, paper tags. So let me see, let me keep going here. Bear with me 1 second. So I had a lot of encounters with white cars, and let me see if this car comes up. I don't know if she's a gang stalker or what, but I just found it really odd because let me see, because she was there for so long, and like I didn't see her pick no one up, and I've had a lot of strange encounters with white vehicles. So bear with me 1 second because I don't want to share no one else's tag in the neighborhood and have them looking like they're part of this. So hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can actually get its tag. Okay, no accusations are being made about this person, but I had just experienced, not any of these other cars, but hold on, bear with me 1 second. It's right around here. Let me see if I can get the tag. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to put it down because I don't want no one else's tag to get seen. But this is it right here. And what I find strange is that I had a lot of encounters with white cars while shopping. And they just sat there. No one got in the car. They weren't waiting for no one. So when I drive out the gate, I noticed that there was a white car and someone standing out of the white car facing my place. Maybe they're not a gang stalker. Maybe it's a coincidence that guy was standing out there. But I'm just trying to give people tips on how to notice gang stalking, and I'm not making any accusations about these people because maybe they were working on their navigation device for half an hour there. I just found it strange. And this is another clip of me. This is how I pretty much live my life. I have a DVR watch. Let me see what else I have on here. I have another DVR cam. And I have something on my shirt, a belt cam. I mean, it's a sad way to live, but I have to record what's going on around me. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know if I've shared this clip already. Now, I mentioned every time I go shopping, someone parks next to me. And let's see here. This guy right here, he doesn't buy any groceries. So let's get his tag. And this is every single time I'm going shopping. And I've seen a lot of strange stuff in my life, but I've never been shopping so much where someone parks next to me and they don't buy any groceries. So I find it really strange. And I had it one time where when I went shopping, a guy ducked down on his knees, stared at my license plate at a supermarket with a lot of traffic going through it with a backpack. He didn't buy no groceries. So I'm not saying this person's a gang stalker, but I find it weird. And one way you can know if these tags match up is by using searchquery.com, and you don't have to pay any fees, and it'll show you sometimes if the tag matches up with the car. But if you want to get all the information about the car, you got to pay an extra fee. And notice in the front of a car there's VIN numbers. Really good tool to get is get their VIN numbers. So, and then bear with me 1 second. When I exit my doctor's appointment, let me put my camera down for 1 second. Okay, as you see, I exited a white vehicle. I was the only patient at my doctor's office, and there was only one person there. So bear with me 1 second. Let me see if you can. I want you to see if you can see it. But you see a red car there, and then when I look back, all you see is just red cars. So you see 4 red cars. Everything else was closed. And when you look back, all you see is red cars straight in a line in the front of all these stores. That's another tactic they use. Sometimes they will pull up next to you in a white car, look at you, honk the horn, and drive off. It's really sick. They do that sometimes. So let me see, make sure I got everything here. Okay, I got all this stuff now. And there's also a thing with white cars. There's a lot of people that they've gone to lights and they have 20 white cars surrounding them, all the same model. I have some videos online, search through them, and you'll start to discover that this is real. And some of these tags get linked back to the U.S. Army, to local city groups, to police. Now, I'm just sharing people, trying to give people ideas of where these white cars come from.
Cars that are involved in this community policing are coming from. And as you notice, I'm at a building here where it's like a city improvement, and you notice white vehicles. You notice a lot of white vehicles, white trucks. And over here is a Department of Justice office. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out how in the world can I have 20, 30 white vehicles parking next to me numerous times a week. Now it's toned down now, but in the past it was non-stop, and I always noticed white vehicles all the time pulling up next to me. And these people have more cars over there. They're all white. We see white cars everywhere. So when people state they're being gang stalked and being followed around by a bunch of people driving white vehicles, it makes you assume that you're dealing with a governmental agency.
Now let me keep going on here. Let me go to 755. Break 1 second.
Places that have white vehicles. I see that these white vehicles can only be found. So I find it really, really odd that when you look, you see U.S. government tags everywhere.
All these vehicles have U.S. government tags. Now, if you go to my channel, you'll get an idea of where some of these white cars come from. Check out this video. There's a clip there where I exit a place and you see white cars in a line. Really creepy. Mostly all the same model. I'm having these same encounters. And this is a Citizens Corps associate member. They're next to American Legion. Huge organization nationwide. And their partners have a bunch of white vehicles. Last time I passed by there was 5 times more vehicles than that were all white. So there's a lot of people that can be used. I've experienced this while I'm shopping. And what's strange is the people all exit the store at the same time, but they don't communicate with each other. But it's like they're robots. You know, I have been systematically harassed.